Welcome to my channel. Thank you for tuning into my first video. Today I'm going to show you how I get a soft daytime glam, which is my go-to, using neutral shades to create definition and refine my features. If you want more info on anything, feel free to leave a question in the comments. I'm going to start by applying my foundation, and I'm using the Urban Decay All Nighter in shade 3.5. I'm applying with a Sephora Pro Flawless Airbrush, number 56. And next, I'm going to show you how I groom my eyebrows. So as you can see, I've got one eyebrow done, and I'm going to go in and do the other eyebrow and show you how I get a nice, thick, fluffy, natural looking brow. I'm going to start in the arch and just create the shape that I want underneath, and then work my way in and extend in as far as I'm going to go, and then take that line straight out to meet my arch. From the arch, I'm going to taper down toward the end of my eyebrow. And then I'm going to groom the brow down, and I'm going to start at the top of the arch and work just up and over the arch. Because my brow is sparsest at the end, I'm going to create the shape that I want, and then I'll fill in that line. So you can see that sharp V at the moment. I see a little light spot there, so I'm going to go back into the bottom of the arch and touch that up. Now I'm going to groom my brow up again, and I'm going to fill in the end just by making small little natural hair-like motions with the pencil, filling in the bottom of the arch anywhere that it's still a little sparse. And one more time, I'm going to go to the top of the brow and just carry this line from the arch as far forward as I can, and I'm making really, really light strokes here because I don't want that line to be too heavy. And then I'm going to brush that out so that that line is softened up a bit. I'm going to brush my brow up, fill in any spots like this where it's a little too light. And then I'm going to go to the front of the brow, and I'm going to take the pencil tip up and down, and I'm going to make small little lines going up. I'm actually going to flip the pencil. You can see that the pencil has a V shape. So I'm going to work with the tip of the pencil starting at the bottom of my brow. And just make small little hair-like lines to fill that in more naturally. All right, brows done. So the eye brushes I'm going to be using are these three. So I would recommend this fluffier eye brush. This is kind of a good all over the eyeshadow brush. This is a blending brush, so you can get into the crease and just kind of soften out any lines that you get left behind applying your shadow with the bigger brush. And then this is a really small fine tip brush. It's got a very short head on it, and I'm using that one to fan out a little bit of liner at the corner of my eye just to give a little bit more depth and to elongate the eye a little bit as I go. I'm going to start with this smaller brush, and I'm going to use the Huda Beauty Desert Dusk palette. It's got a lot of gorgeous colors, but you can definitely find very similar colors I'm going to be using predominantly neutrals, so you can definitely find a lot of drugstore palettes that are going to have the same type of neutral. I'm going to go all over the lid with Desert Sand first, and that's a really beautiful kind of a peachy shell nude color. And I'm going to put that all over the lid. And I'm also going to put that just up into the crease. And I find that just putting one layer of powder down, I do have a layer of primer and then my foundation on my lid already. And I find that adding this layer of powder kind of helps to set my eye, kind of similar to putting a finishing pressed powder or loose powder over your foundation on the rest of your face. So it'll prevent any creasing as long as I'm applying kind of a nice even smooth coat. Now I'm going to go in with Eden in the crease, which is kind of a peachy color. I'm going to put that right in the crease there. And I'm going to do that with this round-tipped blending crease brush. I'm just going to start at the outer corner and work my way in. I'm going to take that out a little bit because I'm going to start creating a bit of a V shape at the end of my eye toward the tip of my eyebrow. I'm actually going to go out, not curling up towards my eyebrow, but going out kind of toward the top of my ear. That will help to open up and elongate the eye. I have quite round, open eyes. They're not terribly deep set, so you can already see how that V is starting to change the shape of this eye a little bit compared to the other. Now I'm going to go in with Musk. That's this taupe, kind of taupey brown. And I'm going to put that right at the outer corner along the lash line, and I'll start to build that out toward the edge of that V as well. And then I'm going to keep it below the crease, so the crease of my eye is here. I'm going to try to keep it below that and just fill in a little bit so that I darken that outer corner. And I'm going to take that out toward the edge of the V on the bottom, not on the top. There, and I'm going to blend it, just soften out the lines between the inner portion of the lid, which I haven't put any additional shadow on other than Desert Sand at the beginning, and the outer section where I've started to build up more color. So I'm going to soften those lines in the middle and work on building this at the outer edge. And then I'm going to go in with Oud, which is kind of a dark ochre color right here at the outer corner. So I'm going to start by building that along the lash line right at the outer corner. Just going to build that to about the center of the eye on my lid, right along my lashes. And then I'm going to take a little bit of Oud and a little bit of Amber. And Amber is kind of a warmer rust color right here. I'm going to take Oud and Amber just to soften it up. And I'm going to take that in toward the middle of the eye along the bottom lash line. And I have been using the brush kind of horizontally, so I'm getting a really fine line, but under the eye I'm going to use it vertically so that I can just soften the line underneath my eye and bring the color down a little bit. And I'm going to take my crease blending brush again and just fan this darker color out. Alright, I'm going to use one of my favorite bronzers to contour. I'm doing this with just a large fluffy powder brush, and any brand will work. This one's from e.l.f. It was like $3, so if you want to pick one up, you can find them on the e.l.f. website. I know they carry them at London Drugs in Canada and at Old Navy, I believe, actually carries them. But I would say their selections aren't always reliable. So I'm blending this starting at the underside of my cheekbone, and I'm blending it right into my hairline, or else you'll get a gap of light skin between your bronzer and your hairline, and that does not help the natural Day-Glam look. And I'm not going to take more powder on my brush. I've put powder on my brush a couple times, and then I usually tap it just to dust off any excess so I don't get a very heavy color. But now I'm going to work at just blending this in. I do have contouring sticks. I have a lot of different methods for contouring, but I think just to keep it simple, to use as few brushes and as little product as possible, I'm going to just contour with this bronzer today. This is a matte bronzer. It's Chocolate Soleil from Too Faced Beauty, and I'm going to now take it just up above my brow. I'm not going to take it right to the center of my forehead because I already have quite a low hairline and a short forehead, so I don't want to make my forehead appear any smaller by taking that dark color up too high. I am going to take it right to the sides and blend it into my hairline, because you want to, somewhat when you're bronzing, to give it a more natural look, you want to target some of the areas where the sun is actually going to hit you, which is going to be the high points of your face. So I am going to do it on my nose, but what I'm going to do is just take the brush and kind of pinch it between my fingers to flatten it out a bit. And again, I'm doing this instead of using a fan brush, instead of switching brushes again, to keep it simple and straightforward. I'm going to pinch that together, and I'm going to take it just from the inside of my eyebrow right up there and drag it just down, and I'm going to try to make a very straight line down the bridge of my nose to contour my nose. And again, doing this with the powder, I'm trying to give you know, some good options to keep really as few products and as few brushes in this video so that you can try and recreate this look at home, either with what you've got or with just a couple new products. I don't want to make it too complicated just yet. I'm going to go down the bridge of my nose towards the tip, trying to maintain a straight line from the inside of my brow right down to the tip of my nose. This is going to lengthen my nose a lot, and this is going to make the tip appear more narrow as well. And I'm going to blend that just in up and into my eyebrows. You can also take that across the upper eye, across the crease of the eye, to soften out that shadow. For the last step in my contouring, I'm just going to take that powder down onto my chin and just along my jawline, and I'm just going to drag it down my neck a little again so that I don't have any harsh lines between where I've applied the makeup and where I haven't. It's just going to soften out and make it look like my complexion is very even. Now you can see this half of my face that I haven't done anything on compared to this half. I haven't put a lot of makeup on. I've used eyeshadow, foundation, and bronzer now, and I've groomed my brows, but this has taken me about 10 minutes to apply this amount of makeup. So next is your finishing stages. Alright, the last couple of things I'm going to do is highlight, a nice natural highlight, and then I'm also going to do my mascara. So what I've done for my highlighter is just clean off my round shadow brush, and I've just kind of removed as much pigment as I can, and I'm now going to take that to the high points of my face. So I'm going to start on my cheekbones, and I'm just going to move that highlighter up to the outer wing of my crease where I've taken my eye makeup. And I'm just kind of moving back and forth gently to blend that in. And you can see that color. This is Moonstone highlighter from Becca. Moonstone is the shade, Becca is the brand. I'm going to take that right under the brow just to make my eye look open and lifted. And also to clean up any lines underneath the brow. You probably noticed my brows are really shaggy and hairy underneath. I've been trying to grow them out. It's a nightmare. I'm going to take a little bit of this just above the brow bone and blend that in with the bronzer that I've put above my eye. And then I'm going to take that just below my lip, put a little bit on my chin. I'm actually going to bring it down just a little bit right under the eye here to the high point of my cheek. When I smile, you can kind of see that's right at the top of my cheek. So I'm going to put a little there. I'm going to go a little bit down down the bridge of my nose. And I'm keeping this in a really straight line because any highlighter that goes wider is actually going to broaden the bridge of your nose. I'm going to put a little bit right on the tip of my nose. I'm just going to soften that with my finger. And now I'm going to go in with mascara. Finish out my eye look. I'm using the Maybelline, the Falsies Push Up Mascara in black in the waterproof variety. And I'm starting at the base of my lashes and just working the brush back and forth up toward the tip of my lashes to remove any clump as I apply my mascara. I am going to go on for one coat on the top side of my lashes and the same technique from the root to the tip of the lash, just wiggling the brush back and forth to remove any clumps. And then I'm going to finish by going from the underside up toward the tip again, just to give the lashes a nice full curl. Same technique, both sides. Alright, and then I'm not going to dip my brush into the mascara tube again. I'm just going to use whatever's left on the brush to do my lower lashes because I've got very long lower lashes and I don't want them too accentuated. I'm mostly applying this at the outer corner of my lower lashes. I'm not going to take it too far in, and that as well will help to elongate the eye. You can see how this eye looks open, elongated, and just much more awake than the side that I haven't applied the makeup to yet. So that's finished makeup, one side of my face. I'm going to finish up and then I'll show you what it looks like. Alright, I finished this look on the other side of my face, then I paused and got some lunch, so I thought I'd come back and show you how it looks. You can see I've got a contour, a subtle glow. I've highlighted the cheekbones, under the eyebrows, the bridge of my nose and my chin, just to make my face glow, make those areas of my face stand out a little bit. I've groomed my brows and I've applied, I would say, a daytime smoky eye in some beautiful neutral colors. I'll post all of the links for product down below and let you know what I used. And I think that most of this look is really easy to recreate with drugstore products, with products you might already have, or with shades that might even work better for your skin tone. I know the shades that I've used work really well for me. I love them. I'm going to continue to use them, and this is generally my go-to look. But if you've got other shades that you prefer, you can certainly use the same technique. Apply shadows or bronzers in the same pattern, and you'll come out with a very similar look in whatever color suits you best. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and if you liked it, you can hit the thumbs up, and if you want, you can subscribe to see more content, and leave a comment to let me know what you'd like to see. Thank you.